I've got a vent. I'm probably going to take down this video if I stick it up, but I've got a vent, man. I just took the dog for a walk just around the block. There's the river outside. So I just to take him around the block. It's a 5-minute walk. And while I'm walking him, there's this copper walking, a policeman walking along, and I avoid the police here in Japan. Right, I'm first straight. I'm not anti-police. Some members of my family are in what could be law enforcement, or were. My uncle's died now. One of my closest friends is a police officer in England, and I gave full consideration. I really thought hard about joining the police when I was younger. So I'm not a a police hater or anything like that. All that said, man, I just do not like the police or trust them in Japan. They got a bad reputation anyway for stitching people up. It's 99% conviction rate. And I've got lots of stories which I won't go into here. It's generally the younger ones. But anyway, so I passed this bloke. I've just come back to my flat with the dog. It's a hot day. I was like, oh, thank God back, because at 5 minutes out, I'm sweating my ass off. Make myself a cup of coffee. My doorbell goes, and I can see on the video screen it's a copper. I'm here on my own. I was like, what the fuck does he want? It was the one I passed in the street. So I thought, shit, has he followed me back here or something? Because that could happen. They just randomly stop you. I've had this before. I have to show my foreigner card or whatever. And you can't get, if you're a foreigner, you can't get smart off the police. It just doesn't work. None of this filming it. And so I'm not, like they do. I mean, some of these people seem to engineer the situation. And for the West, the British or American police, when they get smart with them, that doesn't fly here in Japan, especially not if you're a foreigner. They will queue up just subtly, sneakily. So anyway, I've ignored it the first time, and then it goes again, so I can see the video screen there. So I buzz him up, but I ring my wife up, who's at work, but thankfully she answered. The copper just said, he said a load of things in like that really fast Japanese they talk when they don't want you to understand what they're saying. So I just straight up, I said, sorry, I don't really speak Japanese that well. And he just said, can I come up? I said, yes, of course. What, I can, if he says what he wanted, so I want to check who lives here. As soon as he's speaking to my wife, he's speaking normally. I can understand every word he says. Fucking, they always do it. They go into this super fast, using really like weird verbs that have never been used since the days of the Meiji Restoration. Just to make it more confusing for the gaijin, which is a way of saying foreigner. And yeah, he's talking to my wife, so I want to check out who's lived here. And this has happened. This is the old place we used to live. It happened about 4 times. They used to keep coming. We want to check who's living here. We want to check who's living here. He's talking to my wife, and my wife was like, to be honest, she said, I'm not at home. I'm sorry. No offense, but I can't see your ID, obviously. So I want to ring the station to confirm that it's really, you're really an officer. So can we leave it until I've rung the station? And this cop was like, I want to see his card. And my wife was just not having it. This is a gaijin card that you've got to carry. I'm like, no problem. Basically, whatever gets rid of you quick as possible. Because I didn't say that. And I'm talking to him like, hello, don't like that. But I'm just very clipped. I get my gaijin card, and I'm just like, but he couldn't take it because my wife's like, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm not there. My husband doesn't speak Japanese that well, and it wasn't a video call, so to speak, so he couldn't show his credentials, or he didn't ask to put it onto video on the phone. He wasn't happy. He gave me a shitty look at the end. Younger guy and younger police officers. Yeah, I've made another video about police in Japan, but I spoke to my wife just afterwards, and I said, I've calmed down a bit now, just making this video, but I'm like, I want to put a complaint in. I mean, this is my flat. I've paid for it. I've got a job here. I pay taxes and all this lot. Having the police on your doorstep, the radio's going and shit. I mean, how's that look to the neighbours? We got 4 people living on this floor. No one passed outside while I was talking to this copper because he was just outside on the doorstep. They always do this shit, and it's I don't care if anyone says it's designed so the foreigner looks a bit dodgy, like something could be going on. And I'm not a self-pitying gaijin. I don't look for things to be offended by. I'm a 70-30% bloke. 70% of stuff I just take, and then 30% of it I'm like, no, I'll call it out. I don't know if that makes sense, but A lot of stuff just washes over me, or someone wants to have an attitude on the foreign. I've had it so many times. Like, yeah, great one, you know, bye. So I'll just get away from it as soon as I can. Doesn't happen. I mean, living here is really great on the whole. Don't get me wrong. But then stuff like that happens, and it's just you've just done that just to sort of shake us up a bit, shake the Gaijin up a bit, shake the foreigners up, because it's a well-known tactic they do, and they think it's cute. They know we're registered here. They know we're here. I'm just a bloke living in a flat. What do they think I do? They think I'm cooking up crack or something, or you know, I'm hiding 100 illegal migrants or something in my bedroom under my bed. It's just pathetic. Anyway, yeah, so I passed him out in the street, and I knew, I thought he was going to stop me in the street for something, which is what they do. Oh, there was a fight half an hour ago. Did you see anything? I've had that before. I've had that when I was waiting for McDonald's. Nothing to do with me, but they just, and then they're standing around you. And then they call them back up, and suddenly you've done nothing, but suddenly, and then you can see people trying to video it on their phone, and you know it's going to go up on YouTube, you know, foreigner in trouble with the police. You've done nothing. You know, so... yeah, anyway, thankfully my wife was at hand, because as I say, you can't get smarter from her. They're not for nothing, they're called modern day samurai. My brother-in-law won't have anything to do with him. Anyone they try and have anything to do with him, he just shuts them down, because they're not popular for a lot of Japanese. They've got too much power. I say it's 99% conviction rate if they get it in for you. Yeah, so I just had to vent. But this thing of, you know, we're just checking who lives here. They always do it for us. It's bullshit. Anyway, I'll stop going on. But yeah, seriously, 3:30 on a Sunday afternoon, fuck off.